It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. This is the kickoff to our elementary season here, our 26th year in Prince George's County Public Schools. Play along with us and test your own scientific IQ. Let's meet the teams. First from Hyattsville Elementary School, let's say hello to Uchenna Isa Jaffor, Natea Tucker, and Elian Contreras. And from Mattaponi Elementary School, say hello please to Michael Forrest, Taylor Martin, and Babatunde Ayanda. All right, and now here are the categories of questions that we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the questions, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. We start our teams out at 50 points apiece, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, one of these 2 good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to this year's semifinals. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Natea, would you try your buzzer for me? Thank you. Looks good. Sounds good. Good luck to you, Uchenna and Elian. And how about you, Taylor? Would you try the green button? That works too. It's like a group push over there. Those guys are ready. The team in the white shirts, Taylor and Babatunde and Michael, good luck to you as well. We're proud of all you guys for representing your schools. Everybody wins just by being on Science Bowl, but may the better team win our actual competition. We go alphabetically H before M, so Hyattsville and Natea, let's play the bowl. Give me a category and number.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, even though they don't beat within them, palms and artichokes are said to have these kind of cardiac organs just like we do. Mattaponi.
Hearts.
Who's answering?
Michael. I'll
Michael?
pass it over to Michael.
Hearts. Hearts it is. Yeah, you have hearts of palm or artichoke hearts. Absolutely right. It's just because they're in the center. All right. Got your points? Mattaponi, go please.
Can we do green things for 15, please?
Green things for 15 points. Teams, your question, even ferns can get a blush of color in the fall when this plant pigment disappears from their fronds. All right, Hyattsville, give me the name of that plant pigment.
What is the plant pigment? You just asked me.
All right, please don't ring in unless you have an idea. Mattaponi, even ferns can get a blush of color in the fall if this green pigment disappears from their fronds.
Chlorophyll?
Yes, ma'am. Chlorophyll it is. Chlorophyll is found in all green things, including ferns, which we normally don't think of as changing color because they're on the forest floor. 2 in a row. Go green.
Green things for 20, please.
Green things for 20 points. 3-part answer. I need all 3. And again, do not ring in unless you have an idea. Here's your question. Teams, the 3 most popular grains in the world that feed most of the people are also the same 3 grains found in Chex cereals. The 3 different ones are what? Hyattsville, I need all 3.
Wheat, rice, corn.
You got it for the 20 points. Nicely done, Hyattsville. Wheat Chex, rice Chex, and corn Chex, appropriately named, feed most of the world. All right, 70 all, tie score, red. Natea, you choose, please.
Okay, body system for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, 6-packs are great, but some guys actually have 8 packs of these. What are they? Mattaponi.
Pass it on to Michael.
Abs.
Abs, absolutely right. Abdominal muscles. All right, good answer there, young man. Go green. Let's keep the noise down just a little bit unless you're answering or talking to your teammates. Green team, please.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, the galaxy that we inhabit has the same name as what familiar candy bar? Hyattsville.
Milky Way. Milky Way.
Milky Way is right, red team. All right, Hyattsville. Good assist there from Elion. Go, Natea.
Let's get physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, even though carbon dioxide is much talked about because of global warming, it makes up a very small percentage of the air we breathe. Almost 80% of the air we breathe is this N-initial gas. Mattaponi.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen is the right answer. Yes, indeed. 78%. Go, green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, all the rain that has fallen because of Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee has given a bumper crop of mosquitoes to us and also ruined this Halloween squash crop. Mattaponi.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins. You can't find a pumpkin for love nor money. They're all rotting in the fields because they are all so wet. 95 for Mattaponi, 75 for Hyattsville. Nice playing. Advantage still green.
Green things for 25. Green things for 25.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, bird seed is superheated before it is packaged, which is why if bird seed falls to the ground, and I need a specific answer, it will not do what? If bird seed falls to the ground, it will not do what? Be specific.
Grow.
Hyattsville.
Grow.
No, ma'am. Mattaponi, give me a specific term. What will that bird seed not do if it falls to the ground because it is heat treated?
It won't fertilize.
No, neither team. We were looking for the term germinate. Germinate or sprout. Germinate or sprout we would have accepted. No points. Try again, green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if you get on Scienceville and you just can't talk, they say, maybe, yeah, Mattaponi.
Yeah.
What's that? Who's talking again, please?
Cat got your tongue.
Cat's got your tongue. Absolutely right. Good answer there. All right. I like your enthusiasm, guys, but make sure you let me know who's going to answer so I can tell whether or not you got the right answer. Good job. You're at the century mark 100. Go, Taylor.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Team, some pediatricians say that this creature, which in real life hardly moves under the sea, when it's a cartoon character that's yellow, it moves too fast. Hyattsville?
Sponge.
A sponge, that's right. They say SpongeBob SquarePants moves too fast and it really kind of confuses little kids. I don't know about that. Go, Red.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, what same word describes a lower leg muscle and a baby cow? Hyattsville.
A calf.
A calf, absolutely right. Your calf muscle and those baby cows. That buzzer says our first round is over, and look at this score. It's a tight game. Right now, Hyattsville at 90 points. Mattaponi slightly ahead at 100. The second round of Science Bowl is coming up. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Across America, service learning is helping students improve their grades and their communities by connecting the classroom with community service. Working together, students solve real problems, build new skills, and apply their knowledge in a whole new way. Inside the classroom and out, service learning opens new doors and brings learning to life. Get your school involved. Visit learnandserve.gov to find out how.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. A very tightly contested Elementary match here, first one of the season, Hyattsville and Mattaponi. Great to have you guys here. Many of these young people have played our game before, and they're back again. That's why they're so comfortable on the set here. Let's go to Hyattsville Elementary first and find out about our players. You're all back. You're now 6th graders. Last year you were 5th graders. I love your spirit and your smile and the way you play the game. Natalia, tell me about Hyattsville Elementary School. Who's your principal?
Miss Washburn.
Miss Washburn, she's out there. I know she's behind you 100%. And Mr. Myron Barton, and he is with you, your sponsor. He's going to be out in a few moments. And Natalia, you told me I think you had about 4 alternates on your team, right? 4. Can you give me their names?
Desan, Muhammad, Katie, and Joe.
Wonderful. So you have a shadow team +1 in the wings. We're going to bring them out in just a few moments along with Mr. Barton so you can meet them. How did you all get ready for this game, Natalia? What'd you do? How do you prepare?
Well, like after school, we always like meet up and like in Mr. Barton's classroom.
Yes.
It's just practice.
You practice. Well, it sure shows. You're playing a good game here. Tell me about yourself. What do you want to do when you get older?
Well, I would like to be either an actor or a scientist.
Actor or a scientist? Well, your science knowledge is going to keep you in good form here. I know you're going to be successful. You're a good captain. I like how you listen to Elian and Uchenna. And remember these names, folks, because one of them wants to be President of the United States, another wants to sit on the Supreme Court. Uchenna, which one are you?
I want to become a lawyer so I can become a Supreme Court justice.
Wow. Well, you have the demeanor of a Supreme Court justice, and being a justice is making good decisions, and you've made some good ones here. How'd you get interested in the law?
After a while, me and my brother used to always argue, and then after a while I started learning about lawyers because my mom and dad would talk about them, how they're sometimes good and how they're sometimes bad. And then I noticed that I like arguing, and I like proving my point, and I like knowing that either I'm right or I'm wrong and learning from my mistakes.
Wow. That is so beautifully said, too. You're very articulate, and if you like to argue, and if you win your arguments, law is probably a pretty good direction for you. So you must be President Contreras, is that right?
Yes.
Someday. If you became president, what's the first thing you might do? You thought about that?
There's many things I want to do, like about immigration, all that. Right people for everything.
Yeah, a lot of hot issues right now, and I'm sure a lot of us think, well, what would we do in Mr. Obama's situation? So tell me about what you do in your spare time.
I usually study science and social studies, all that.
And I know both of those are your favorite subjects, aren't
Yes.
they? Nice to have you back. Mattaponi, nice to have you guys here. You're in your school uniform, just as Hyattsville had their dark shirts. You have your white shirts over there, and it's that plus the navy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about Mattaponi. Where is it, Taylor?
Mattaponi is on, it's like right off of Croom Station Road.
Yeah, so you're down in the southern part of the Prince George's County. You had a long drive to get here to Landover today. We're glad that you did. Tell me who your principal is.
Our principal is Dr. Jancy Hay.
Wonderful. And the sponsor of your team is Miss Sheila Madison, who always sends us wonderful teams. We love having her, and she's such a great asset to Prince George's schools, as is Mr. Barton. Tell me about your alternates. You had a whole laundry list of them. If you can't remember them all, I'll understand, but why don't you try?
We have Cherish Tobert, Sydney Reed, Aaliyah Castle, Trevor,
Miss Briscoe,
Christian Briscoe,
Trevor,
and
you already said Trevor.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. That's more than enough. And thank you, Mike and Babatunde, for helping out your captain. That's just what you're supposed to do. She appreciates that. Taylor, tell me how you guys prepared for this game.
Well, we would go to Miss Madison's room during lunch and recess, and we would study, we would quiz each other, we would watch science bowl tapes, old tapings, answer the questions. We go to My Point Quiz Show and do questions, and that's all.
It sounds like you did all the right things down there. And tell me about yourself. What do you aspire to be someday?
I would like to be a fashion designer, and if that doesn't work out, I want to run my mother's company.
Oh, well, you've got big ambitions just like these guys do, and I love that because you have to have dreams or they simply don't come true. Babatunde, nice to have you back. Now, you were here last year as an alternate, correct? Nice to have you on set. You and Michael both were alternates. That's why you're so happy to be here. You've made it to the big time. You're in the majors now. Tell me about yourself, young man. What do you do in your spare time?
Sometimes I read, or I draw, or sometimes I just play.
Just play. Just to be a kid. Use these years to just be a kid because they don't come again. And you like to read fiction, you told me, right? Nice to have you here. I like your smile and your enthusiasm. Mike, you know so much already. Where does all this science knowledge come from?
Basically from my 5th and 6th grade teachers, Miss Madison and Miss Mudd.
What a nice thing to say about those teachers are so proud right now hearing you say that. That means everything to a teacher. Mike, what do you see yourself doing someday?
I have a lot of things I want to be. I want to be an author, a video game designer, a Lego designer, and
You told me a manga artist too, right?
Yeah, manga artist.
You're a creative kind of guy. I can tell that. Keep up your good playing. Let's get back to the game. 100 for Mattaponi, 90 for Hyattsville. Lots of points to give away. Most of the tough questions are left. Anybody's game still. Last correct answer came from the red team, so Hyattsville, start us out.
Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, when this fossil fuel is pumped from the ground, if it has less than 5% sulfur, it is called sweet crude what? Mattaponi.
Oil.
Oil it is, yes. It actually does taste and smell sweet, but don't try it. It's poisonous. Go again, green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, the new Superman movie coming out stars a new Superman who is on a superhero workout that requires him to eat 5,000 of these energy units a day. Hyattsville. Calories. A 5,000 calorie. What is that? Couple big somethings, hamburgers with all the fixings on. Go again, red.
Green thing for 10.
Green things, 10 points. Question is as follows. People who suffer from allergies oftentimes move to Arizona because in the desert there is very little of this in the air. Mattaponi.
Pollen.
Pollen, yes indeed. I love how you listen to all the clues. You're coming up with great answers, all of you. Go green.
Zupre for 20.
Zupre for 20.
Zupre, 20 points. Teams, question is as follows. Young animals are often protected from disease by maternal antibodies. What are maternal antibodies that keep young animals from getting disease? What does maternal antibodies mean? Antibodies are germ fighters, and maternal means mother. So the mother gives these germ fighters to her baby. That was the correct answer. No points. Try again, green.
Zupre for 15.
Zupre for 15 points. Teams, let's talk royalty. There is a king crab, and then there are queens, especially in the social insects. Name one queen among the social insects. Hyattsville.
Bee.
Queen bee. There's a queen bee. There's a queen termite. There's a queen ant. Oh, yes. Go again. Red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems, 15 points. Teams, even if you've never seen an episode of True Blood, you know that these teeth in a vampire are especially long. Which teeth, Mattaponi?
Veins. Veins.
Not veins. No, what kind of teeth, I'm asking. What kind of teeth in a vampire are especially long, Hyattsville?
Stop, that's what they said.
Veins. They said that.
They didn't.
Yes, they did.
And who's going to answer?
Okay.
Correct answer are the canine teeth. The canine teeth, the real long ones here. Those are the ones that vampires use to access a vein. All right, go again, please. Green. Still a 10-point advantage, Mattaponi.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, this material that pennies are made of is now very valuable in pipes, which is why people are stealing pipes. Mattaponi.
Copper.
Copper, yeah. Copper thievery is big these days, especially in these recessionary times. All right. A little quieter on the set, please. Go green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline science for 10 points. Teams, because he worked with legumes so much, George Washington Carver could be called Mr. What? Mr. What, Hyattsville?
Mr. Locknose?
Again?
Mr. Locknose?
Mr. Locknose? No, because George Washington Carver worked with legumes, they sometimes call him Mr. What?
We don't know.
Peanut, Mr. Peanut. Legumes are these plants that live underground that fix nitrogen. Mr. Peanut. George Washington Carver came up with hundreds of uses of the peanut. Go green.
Potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. All right, let's see if you know your alphabet. What is the first letter in the alphabet that you would come to that is not a vitamin? Hyattsville.
Z. Z. Q.
F.
F is absolutely right. There's a vitamin A, B, C, D, E, but no F. Oh, am I impressed. Go, red. 110 up to 130. You're just 5 points behind the leader. Go, Natea.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, there's a new television series with stars dinosaurs. If you know what the word terrestrial means, then you know that this program is called What Nova? Yes.
Terra Nova.
Mattaponi, please.
Terra Nova.
Terra Nova.
Terra Nova. Terra meaning land and Nova meaning new. New land. Go green. Taylor, please.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline, 15 points. Teams, the top prize given to scientists is this year being given for the first time to a man who just died after he was awarded this top science prize. These are the Nobel Prizes. Nobel Prizes. Try again, green.
Body Systems for 20.
Body Systems, 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The pyramids are in Egypt, but inside your body there is a body part known as the pyramid that's associated with these paired renal organs. Mattaponi.
Michael.
Michael?
Lungs.
Not lungs. Good try. What paired renal organs have a part of them that is also known as the pyramid?
Kidney?
Kidneys, yes indeed. The pyramidal structures in the kidneys. Good comeback there. Go red, please.
Yes.
Tie score, 150 all. Natea, you pick.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, when Isaac Newton was sitting under a tree musing at falling apples, he devised the law of universal what?
Gravity.
But please wait until we acknowledge you. Mattaponi.
Gravity.
Gravity, yes. The universal gravitation. Yes, please. Go.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams off the coast of Australia that find a huge humpback whale that they've called Migaloo. Just like Moby Dick, it lacks pigmentation, making it what kind of animal? What kind of animal? It's an albino. It's a white whale like Moby Dick was. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 25.
Zoo Parade for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, if you compared a human hand with the hand of an ape, they would look very much alike. But there's one major difference because human beings are bipedal and apes are quadrupeds, meaning they do what? What do they do for 25 points? Hyattsville, you've rung in. Be specific, please. Who's going to answer?
Walk on their 4 feet.
They walk on their legs and their hands.
That's right. They are four-footed walkers. That's why the hands look different. Nicely done. Thank you, Elian, for your assist on that. We now have a tie score of 170, actually 175 for Hyattsville. Red, advantage yours. 4 questions left.
Body Systems for 25.
Body Systems for 25 points. Teams, don't get thrown by the big words here. If you drink too much soda, you can develop something called GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is more commonly called this, which keeps people up at night. Hyattsville for 25 points. What is GERD more familiarly known as?
Keep people up at night. Gas?
Not gas. Good try. Good try. Mattaponi?
Heartburn.
Heartburn is what we want to hear. Good comeback, Mattaponi. You're back in the game. 3 questions left. Where, Taylor?
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, a lot of students can't remember the 7 colors in the rainbow, but Roy G. Biv helps them. What does Roy G. Biv stand for?
Red.
What does it stand for? Who's answering, please? Uchenna?
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. No. Red, orange, yellow, green. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, green.
Almost, almost. Mattaponi, can you tell me the 7 colors of the rainbow with the acronym Roy G. Biv as your guide?
Red, orange, yellow, green.
Red, yellow, orange, green, blue, indigo,
Violet.
and violet.
Judges, one more time, please, so the judges can hear you.
Red, orange, yellow, green, violet, blue,
indigo, violet,
blue, and indigo.
violet.
And I said violet.
All right, we got them absolutely right. Mattaponi, 2 questions left in the game. You choose green.
Let's get physical for 25.
Taylor, please.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, astronomers has just discovered a planet that orbits not 1 but 2 suns. And as those 2 suns pass each other every 47 days, and the shadow of one passes over one of the other, what forms? What forms, Hyattsville?
An eclipse.
Yes, an eclipse is absolutely right. Dateline for 25, last question of the game. Here it is. Teams, back in 1881 when President James Garfield was shot, this man desperately tried to come up with a machine to detect where in the president's body the bullet was lodged. He was the very same man who invented the telephone. Who is he for 25 points, Hyattsville?
This is the last
Thomas Edison?
Not Thomas Edison. Good try. Mattaponi, who invented the telephone and tried desperately to save President Garfield?
I'll pass it on to Michael.
Michael?
Alexander Graham Bell.
You got it for 25 points and the game. Congratulations, Mattaponi. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. We'll bring everybody up from those 2 schools. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Whether it's passing on medicine, a blanket, or something as simple as a glass of water, that's how compassion works. And that's how Marinol works. For nearly 100 years, Marinol's been passing on your help to their priests and brothers working in 26 countries around the world. Hand to hand. That's Marinol.
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 Excuse me. Excuse me?
There are some things you can't control.
The weather.
The front page.
Cell phones ringing.
Traffic.
The stock market, obviously.
Hearing they love you.
Or they don't.
We're hearing the one thing no one wants to hear.
Cancer.
Okay, things you can control.
What you know before treatment.
Your options.
All the facts.
There's a high risk of infection during chemotherapy.
So don't let anything interrupt your fight against cancer.
Get prepared.
Get healthy.
Stay strong.
Stay well.
Talk to your doctors.
And go to manageyourtreatment.com.
There are some things you can't control.
But this, you honestly can.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. It came down to almost the last question. What a great way to start our new season. 6 outstanding young people. We are so proud of all of them. And when you see the teams behind them, our final tally today is Hyattsville, 200 points, Mattaponi, 245. Congratulations, Michael and Taylor and Baba Tunde. You played a beautiful game. And look at the young people back there. Wave to everybody. Sydney, Trevor, Garrett, Aaliyah, Sierra, Kirsten, and the wonderful Sheila Madison, who is smiling broader than anybody over there. And I want to see some teeth over here. You guys played a great game too. Hyattsville, Uchenna, and Natea and Elian. We loved having you guys here. And the alternates on that team, Joe and Muhammad and Desan and KD, and the beautifully dressed, as always, Mr. Myron Barton here. Very proud of that team. Thank you for joining us today. Hope to see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.